The next time you walk into a stadium, pay attention to the first few minutes. Not the field, not the scoreboard, not the players warming up. Pay attention to how quickly the building makes you forget the building exists. You scan your ticket, you follow a crowd, you climb a ramp, you pass food stands, bathrooms, signs, security staff, section numbers, people in jerseys, kids holding drinks too big for their hands. And somehow, without thinking about it, you find your seat inside a structure that may be holding 50,000, 70,000, sometimes more than 100,000 people. That should feel impossible, but it usually does not, because stadiums are extremely good at hiding the part of themselves that is actually doing the work. From your seat, a stadium feels simple. There is the field, there are the seats, there are the screens, there is the crowd. But underneath that simple shape is another place entirely, a place of tunnels, cameras, kitchens, locker rooms, loading docks, command rooms, broadcast cables, medical routes, locked doors, staff corridors, trash compactors, and people watching the building more carefully than they are watching the game. And once you understand that, a stadium stops looking like a bowl. It starts looking like a machine built around human noise. Think about the way you arrive. You probably feel like you are choosing your own path: gate, stairs, hallway, section, row, seat. But the stadium has already made most of those choices for you. The ramps are wide for a reason. The gates are placed for a reason. The aisles, railings, stairs, concourses, and exits are not just architecture. They are crowd instructions built into concrete. A stadium has to do something strange. It has to let thousands of people feel free while quietly preventing them from all moving in the wrong direction at once. That is why the building does not just hold the crowd, it shapes the crowd. Then you reach the concourse. This is the part everyone thinks they understand. Food, drinks, bathrooms, merchandise, maybe a line that feels too long. But even here, the stadium is hiding its real scale. That hot dog in your hand is the final visible inch of a much larger system. Somewhere behind the wall, food was delivered, stored, cooked, counted, moved, sold, cleaned up, and replaced before the next rush. The workers know when the wave is coming, before the game, half-time, between periods, after the final whistle. To you, it is a snack. To the stadium, it is a timed surge of thousands of hungry people moving at once. And the strange thing is, most of the mess disappears before it becomes part of your memory. The spilled drink, the overflowing bin, the food trays under the seats, the bathrooms after half-time, the floor after everyone leaves. You may never see the full version of it because a stadium is not just designed to create spectacle. It is designed to recover from spectacle. Now look down toward the field. The field feels like the center of everything, and in one way it is, but beneath and around it are routes you do not see clearly from your seat. Locker rooms, medical spaces, equipment rooms, media areas, staff paths, security points, and tunnels that allow players, performers, workers, cameras, and emergency teams to move without colliding with the public. That tunnel entrance you barely notice is not just a dramatic place for athletes to run out of. It is a doorway into the stadium's hidden circulation. The public moves one way, the building's workers move another, and above all of it, there is the broadcast layer. If you are in the stadium, it can feel like the event belongs to the people in the seats. But most modern stadiums are also built for people who are not there. Cameras need positions, announcers need booths, replay systems need rooms, cables need paths, microphones need placement. Lighting has to work for the audience in the stands and the audience at home. So while you are watching the field, another version of the stadium is turning the event into a signal. A live game is not just being played, it is being exported, and somewhere inside the building, there are people who are not emotionally watching the game at all. They are watching the stadium. They are looking at cameras, gates, weather, crowd movement, medical calls, delays, access points, radio traffic, security issues, and anything that might turn a normal event into a problem. For fans, the stadium is emotion. For them, it is a living map. This is the part stadiums hide best. The fact that a crowd is beautiful but also fragile. A crowd can sing together, celebrate together, hold its breath together. But a crowd can also panic, compress, spill into the wrong space, block an exit, overwhelm a stairway, or turn one small problem into something much larger. So the stadium has to create a very specific illusion. It has to make you feel like you are part of something wild, while making sure the wildness never fully owns the building. That is why so much of the stadium is not built for the best moment. It is built for the worst one, the exits you ignore, the medical room you hope you never need, the security door you walk past, the camera you forget is there, the staff member watching a stairwell instead of the score. All of that is part of the hidden stadium. And then the event ends. For you, the ending is emotional. You are happy, annoyed, tired, maybe stuck in traffic, maybe replaying one moment in your head. But for the stadium, the ending is physical. Cups under seats, food on the floor, bathrooms wrecked, grass damaged, equipment to move, screens to shut down, trash to collect, doors to check, maybe another event coming sooner than anyone would believe. The building has to become itself again. That is the thing people miss. A stadium is not impressive because it can hold a crowd once. It is impressive because it can survive the crowd, reset, and do it again. So the next time you walk through a stadium and everyone is looking toward the field, look the other way for a second. Look at the plain doors under the stands, the quiet staff corridor, the camera tucked into the corner, the worker moving against the crowd, the tunnel that seems to lead nowhere, because that is where the real stadium is hiding. The game is what you came to see, but the hidden building is what made it possible for you to see it. Have you ever noticed something inside a stadium that most people missed? A tunnel, a service door, a control room, a broadcast area, a strange hallway, a security moment, or the cleanup after everyone left? Tell me what stadium it was, what you saw, and whether it made the event feel less magical or even bigger than before.